Hey everyone, Stock Santa here. The video that I just did on TikTok about Apple got a lot of questions. People wanted to know, did you buy the stock or not? What happened? So here's my full Apple story. I feel like I've done videos on this before, but it might have been when I had hair. So I'll just redo the video and maybe I'll be able to streamline it a little bit. In 2003, we all had iTunes accounts, everyone had iPods, all my friends were getting these iMacs, which were what they used to call their laptops back then. And I'm connecting the dots. I didn't know much about investing back then. I was only 18. But I could see a trend here. I could see that everyone was getting these products and everyone loved these products, myself included. And I went home and I had about $3,000 in savings from, like shoveling cars, walking dogs, helping old ladies carry their groceries up and stuff. And I called my mom's stockbroker, who was a very old man at the time. And I said, listen, Apple is $9 a share. I've got $3,000 in cash. I would like to buy. I wonder if my air conditioning or my heater is too noisy. Let me turn it off and we'll see. Maybe that's a little better now that we're a little quiet. All right. Sorry about that. So, it's 2003. I call my mom's broker. And I say, listen, I've got $3,000. Apple's $9 a share. I would like 300 shares of Apple. And he says, oh, kid, you're wasting your money. Why would you want stock in Apple? It's a nothing company. They've never done anything. It's just computers. Who cares? And I said, well, the iTunes and the MP3 player, the iPod and stuff like that. And he goes, no. It's a niche product, which we now know niche products are the best products, right? Because they have the loyal customer base that keeps coming back. So it's a niche product and it's a fad. Nobody really wants to buy music on computers, right? They want to own their records. They want to own their records, their tapes, their CDs. So I didn't know how to make a case, right? I didn't know how to say, but it's a growth company and they're changing, they're disrupting and they're innovative. I didn't know any of that terminology back then. So he talks me out of it. He says, if you really just watch the stock for a week, you'll see it doesn't really do much. It doesn't really go anywhere. Call me in a week. Well, a week later, Apple has gone from $9 to $12 a share, and I am all kinds of furious. So I call him back, and he goes, listen, I think you're making a mistake. I think you're wasting your money. Let's compromise here. Get 100 shares instead. So I say, okay, fine. So I buy the 100 shares, and somewhere along the way, Apple does a split. They do a 2-for-1 split. As the stock starts to increase in price, Apple says, oh, it's too expensive, let's do a split. Let's give everyone 2 shares for every one that they have. I have other videos on stock splits, which you can find on my YouTube channel. So they do this split. I, totally new to stocks, think that I have just doubled my money. So I'm thrilled. You don't double your money on a stock split. You just double the amount of shares that you have. The money, the investment, the profit, they all equal the same amount prior. You just have more at a lower cost. But I didn't know that. So I call up this broker. I'm so excited. I think I'm going to have this humongous profit right now. And I call him up and I say, sell 100 of those shares. So he goes, you got it. And he sells it and he tells me my profit, which I can't remember what it was, but it was I was astonished. And I said, no, wait. It should be like 6,000 or it should be thousands of dollars. And he goes, oh, no. That's not how these splits work. And then he explains to me how splits work. And I was like, are you kidding? He probably should have told me ahead of time. I was 18, or 19 or something like that. He should have told me ahead of time. He should have been like, oh, this is how a split works. Are you sure you want to sell? You don't have a doubling of profits. So I'm not so thrilled about this broker. What can I do though? Because it was 2005-ish. Many years go by and Apple is now sitting at around $225 a share. And I am so proud that I have picked this stock on the one hand because it's $225. I bought it at around 12, so my profit is somewhere over 23,000. So I'm thrilled. On the other hand, I'm furious, right? Because I had wanted 300 shares, so my profit would have been closer to 70,000. So happy, but I'm also upset that I listened to this professional broker who gave me really bad advice. And then the recession hits. 2008, 2009, Apple goes from $225 all the way down to $69 a share. I'm terrified. I don't know what to do. I'm still relatively inexperienced when it comes to investing, and I call the broker. And I say, what should I do? And he starts yelling. He's like, you're up. You've still got profit in this company. You'd be stupid not to take it. Take it. The world is ending. It's a recession. Take the profit. So I I do the math, and it turns out my profit is around $5,000, right? Bought it at 12, it's 69, 100 shares. I say, all right, fine, sell it. Take my little bit of a profit and walk away thinking like, damn, man, my profit was 25,000 and now it was only 5. And then Apple immediately, right? Like 69 was like the lowest it got. And then it just went straight up. What the broker should have said was, listen, these recessions, they come and they go. You're 23 years old. I know he was thinking more in terms of his clients who were probably also very old. But you look at the client, you say, oh, he's 23. Listen, you've got plenty of time. You were right about this company. They're a growth stock. They're disruptive. They're disrupting the industry. They're innovative, right? Like Apple was the company that was able to look around and see everything that already existed and then tweak it or modify it or put them together, right? Like we had digital cameras, MP3 players, Palm Pilots for organizing an email and taking notes, and cell phones for making calls. And Apple combined all 4 of those into one device, which is that thing right there. He should have said, you're young, you'll withstand this recession. You were right. This recession has absolutely nothing to do with Apple. You were right about this being a growth stock or a great company to invest in. If you can afford it, you should buy more. He didn't say that. I panicked, I sold, I took the worst advice, and after that, Apple went straight up to around $700 a share. And you can imagine how absolutely furious I was with that. So, and Apple at that point announces that they're going to be doing a 7-for-1 stock split. And they're going to drop the price from $700 a share to $100 a share. That's when I decide to get back in. I bought 100 shares at $98, but I believed in the company. And I was sick over the profits that I had missed out on. It turns out that if you do the math on this really quick, if I had purchased just that initial 100 shares and held the whole time and never listened to that stupid broker, I would have had 200 shares right after the first split. Then I would have had like 1,400 shares. Then I would have had something like 55 or 5,600 shares. My profit on just that initial 100 share purchase would have been around $700,000 today. And if I had purchased the full 300 shares that I had wanted and held them through all of the splits, we'd be looking at well over 2 million in profits. So sometimes when you go on those websites and they say, oh, this investor turned $1,000 into $1 million. And if you buy our software, or buy our course, you can too. All they're saying probably is someone bought stock in Apple 20 years ago and held it all these years. And this is another point to the benefit of buy and hold investing when it comes to companies that you really like. I know people tend to get caught up in the intraday highs and lows. Oh, Apple's down 20%. Oh, it's the end of the company. And everyone starts running around and freaking out. The lesson here is a couple things. 1, do your own research. 2, don't always assume that just because they're a professional that they know more than you. Sometimes they do, but that's why you talk to them. You talk to them, you hear them out, you make your case, and learn to make your case. That's the other thing I would say is learn to make your case. Learn to present. I mean, first of all, no one really uses stockbrokers anymore anyway. But if you had to use a broker or you wanted to consult with someone who was a financial advisor about a hefty investment you were looking to make, come prepared, do your research, make your case. They'll listen to you. Maybe they don't know about the company, but they know how to hear certain phrases, certain words like revenues are increasing or debt is decreasing or high cash flow or growth company or they've got licensing deals or they're going to be innovative and here's what they're doing. I didn't know it at the time, but what I was doing with Apple was I was looking big picture and I was saying, without actually saying it, look, this company has just taken music and MP3s and put them together in this device with huge battery life, and you could store like thousands of songs. I didn't know it at the time, but I guess subconsciously what I was thinking was, if they were able to do this today, what might they do tomorrow? So that's lesson 1. And lesson 2 is to just hold these investments for the long term when you really believe them and not get worried about the short-term volatility. The best example or the best analogy I'll give is, let's say I bought that 100 shares of Apple. Just that 100 shares. I walked outside and got hit by a bus and I was in a coma. And I woke up from that coma today. And I turned to the nurse and the first thing I say is, what's the price of Apple? And the nurse pulls up on her phone and goes, oh, it's, $120 a share. I'm sitting there thinking I've got around a $10,000 profit. But I don't. I've got almost $700,000 profit because of all the splits. And Apple has added a dividend. So if someone who was overseeing my accounts all that time had reinvested the Apple dividends back in, I would have potentially even more shares and an even larger profit. But when you don't pay attention, when you do pay attention to these constant swings, you get nervous, you sell out. Oh, I should sell, it's a recession. Oh, I should sell, I think their growth is slowing. Just sometimes the best thing you can do is buy and hold. So anyway, that's my Apple story. I thought I would hop on here and tell it because it's been, a lot of people have been asking about it, especially because of those TikTok videos. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. Just click the bell, click the little notification, click the subscribe thing. Thanks for watching and have a good day.